What I have in this box today is going to be one of the rarest items I have ever opened, and it could be possible SpongeBob wouldn't exist without it. So welcome home, Rep Pack. We are going to get right into this. In this video, we are going to be covering the 10 rarest items in this collection that you may have never seen before. 5 which I can guarantee you've never seen before, including this one, and 5 that you may have seen if you've been here since the beginning. This is our 3rd episode of this series. I love doing this. You guys get to see some really rare stuff that I've been collecting off camera, and if you guys are new here, you get to be filled in on some of the stuff that we've gathered thus far. But let's go ahead and get into this first off. This all white mysterious box. Popping it open here, we have something beautiful. You can see it covered in the styrofoam right there, and it says Walt doll. So this right here was created by none other than one of my biggest inspirations and one of the most amazing people ever, Steven Hillenberg. If you don't know, I don't know how you know who I am in this show if you don't know who Stephen Hillenburg is, but he is the creator of SpongeBob SquarePants. He's the name you see right here on screen at the start of every single episode of SpongeBob. So he created this, and it is hand signed right here by him. So you can see it says Steven Hillenberg right there, and this is circa 1996. This was released before SpongeBob had even been in production. And you can see it says the Frozen Walt doll, limited green edition. This was made out of 1,000 pieces. And we will pop it open and you guys can actually see the doll itself. We're gonna open it up carefully here. There we have it, the Frozen Walt Disney doll. So now that you've seen it, let me explain it a little bit. So for those of you guys who don't know, Steven was not just an artist when it came to animation. He was known to make all types of crazy sculptures as well. And one of the items he had come up with is this one, based off of a conspiracy theory that had been going on for years. If you don't know Steven, you for sure know this guy, Walt Disney. He created the school that Steven and many other iconic animators went to, CalArts. And some people theorize, just like with Tupac, Elvis, and many other iconic celebrities, that when they pass away, they didn't really pass away, that something happened. They went to Cuba, they're hiding out somewhere in someone's garage, waiting to make a big comeback. And for Walt, the theory was that they had frozen his body, or his head, and placed it in a basement in CalArts for when the technology was strong enough to be able to bring him back or place his brain into some other living vessel. And playing off of that joke, while Steven was at CalArts, he created this right here. This is not the first version that ever came out. This is the 2nd edition. There is on screen here. I have never ever seen it available before. It's not even numbered, so I don't even know how many there are that exist, but there's also a red tie variation of this same doll that he made while at CalArts as well. And from all the research I've been able to gather, he created these at CalArts in order to make extra income to help pay off some of the debt that he was going to go into once he graduated. Being that, of course, as many of us know, college can get really expensive, and he sold a lot of them, but he didn't even sell all of them. Many of these were gifted to different employees that he worked with at Nickelodeon when launching SpongeBob. So in a weird way, this kind of helped with the creation of SpongeBob becoming a show to begin with, undoubtedly giving him extra resources to not only pay off his bills, but maybe even utilize to help him come up with the SpongeBob Bible that he used to pitch to Nickelodeon. And I picked this up for around $200. It is extremely hard to find these for anything under $500, mainly because of the fact that it's actually hand signed by Steven, and that in itself is really hard to do because, as many of you guys know, Steven has passed away, so there's no chance of him doing any more signatures. And when he was alive, the convention scene and signings were nowhere near as big as they are today. This is one of the most accessible items that can guarantee you that signature. So that's item number 1. Of course, we've got 9 other items to cover. The next item we're going to show here has been featured on the channel before, but it hasn't been in a long while, and with all the stuff going on in the background, it could get easily lost. So for those of you guys that are new, here's item number 2. Okay, so next up here is item number 2, and you can't really see this one in the cavern that well because there's like SpongeBob TV and stuff that kind of blocks it a bit, but this is original concept sketches from the SpongeBob movie. So right here, this as SpongeBob SpongeBob and Patrick about to become men as Mindy is revealing their mustaches to them. I actually got this from somebody that worked on the storyboarding for the SpongeBob movie. If you guys don't know, SpongeBob season 1 was all hand done with cell animation, so you can find a lot of sketches and cells from that season because essentially every movement and every episode had thousands of them. But for the SpongeBob movie, it was all done digitally mostly. So the only hand done art was all sketches and concepts for them to transition to digital. And of course the storyboard was all hand done as well. Being that it was all shots like this, being very minimal, just to set the framing of how everything is gonna look and to pitch what parts of the story they should keep and not keep to avoid animating something that maybe they don't even want to put in the movie. And I almost never, maybe even never see any of the concept stuff come out for the SpongeBob movie. I got really fortunate to be able to pick these ones up, and that's not even my favorite one. My favorite one, and probably one of my favorite pieces in the collection altogether, is this one right here of Plankton on the throne. This is during the climax of the movie, if you will, when he has completely taken over Bikini Bottom. Everybody's got their bucket helmets on. This is the biggest Plankton win of all time, where he has literally, for a moment, taken control and got everything that he's wanted for the entire series to be able to take over Bikini Bottom and then next up the world. And this shot couldn't better capture that particular moment. So this one will always be one of my favorite pieces that I have, and you will see them in the background over here on the right side of the room, kind of peeking above the SpongeBob TV and monitor. So that's item number 2. Let's go ahead and go to something you've never seen before, item number 3. Okay, so next up here, first off, make sure you guys hit the like button, because this series I bring some of the most heat when it comes to this collection. Of course, you guys see my regular uploads where we're going out there hunting for all types of fun stuff, but no other series on this show brings the magnitude and level of the items that I bring in this series. So if you guys could hit the like button, I would greatly appreciate it. And also leave a comment down below, what was your favorite item of the 10? Number 3 though, this item was featured in one of the episodes as one of the items you may have seen before, and that is this Patrick bobblehead. And this bobblehead is from a series. It was around the 10th anniversary for SpongeBob. They released bobbleheads for all the shows on Nickelodeon that went to the cast and crew of those shows. For example, we have the Fairly Odd Parents set here in the room. An easier retrievable one is this one right here for Tak and the Power of Juju. But by far the hardest ones to acquire are probably the SpongeBob ones and maybe like the Avatar The Last Airbender one. So I would love to be able to complete this set. It's one of my biggest goals. We have the Patrick in the collection, but I was able to acquire 3 more thanks to another member of the rep pack named Cody, aka Cody Caldwell, or we call him Santa on Discord and whatnot. He's a member of the community. He's a big fan of the Santa Claus series with Tim Allen, and he reached out to when these got posted so I could add them to the collection, and I'm so grateful because I really want to complete this set. I think they're absolutely marvelous and the quality is unbelievable. So let's go ahead and check out which ones I got to add to this set. So the first one is Patrick. I'm not even gonna bother opening it because this is the same one that we have right here. I had to get the set of 3. It came in a lot, so I ended up getting another Patrick anyway. But next one though we've got, let's go ahead and see who this is. And to be honest, I don't think I'm gonna put these on display until I have some kind of like glass or acrylic protector to go around them. Patrick is a little bit, you know, the man, he's a thick boy. He's more rounded. I didn't really see as much of an issue of him like, you know, something just bumping against him and him breaking because of how rotund he is. But with these ones, there's a lot more skinny pieces that could come off, and that is for Mr. Krabs. So again, this is an employee only exclusive bobblehead of Mr. Krabs. Absolutely beautiful. The quality on these is incredible. The fact that these were made only for employees and were made in such small quantities, I think is why the quality is so great. It looks like they were all hand painted, and being that they didn't need to mass produce like 100,000 of them or more, they could afford to spend a little bit more money on making the quality what it is. And of course, you've got the Nickelodeon and SpongeBob logo there. You've got no trademarking on the bottom or anything like that because of the fact these were never to be publicly released. They didn't have to go through all of those legal requirements, but you can see he's got a little bit of foam there to protect his neck. And you know, Mr. Krabs is historically breaks around the eye socket area and also the elbows. So again, I'm probably not going to put them on display quite yet until we have some kind of protection for it that I feel comfortable with. But a beautiful, beautiful piece. I couldn't be happier with it. And I believe this is the only Mr. Krabs bobblehead to ever come out. We did get this limited edition green label SpongeBob bobblehead. That's an amazing piece as well too. And I feel like this almost looks like it was supposed to be one of the ones in that set as far as how it looks. But of course, SpongeBob being as big as he is, being the main character, they had more confidence in that one selling, that they just kind of made these ones for in-house. But it's almost like if Mr. Krabs and Patrick had gotten one of those bobbleheads, this is what it would have looked like. So I'm in love with it. Let me go ahead and carefully put this one back. And we've got one more, but I'm gonna save this for episode number 4 of this series. So make sure you subscribe so you don't miss that episode when it comes out. And I want you guys to guess which character you think is in there. I think we're still missing Gary, Squidward, Sandy, and SpongeBob himself. So who do you think would fit inside of this box? Leave a comment down below, and I don't know, I might heart some of the people that I think are right and some of the people I think are wrong, so that way I didn't give any answer, but I'll heart it. Okay, and item number 4. So I wanted to bring out all the stops here, so I'm doing 2 items in this one rather than just one, because these have been featured before in a video where I showed a lot of my animation cells. I have since then acquired a couple more, but I'll save those for the next episode of this as well too, so that way we can keep this series going. And I'm going to show you everything. Why limit it to 10? You know, it could just be, oh, top 100 items. But these are cells that aren't on display here. We only have so much room on the walls for cells, as well as items in general. Like I said, this is the showcase room. Everything that can't fit inside this room or it needs to be displayed at a given time gets put into our vault. And these are straight out of the vault. These are some cells that you don't see as often. This is a 2-in-1 kind of. This is a cell of both Squidward and SpongeBob here. This is from different episodes though, which is interesting. So I believe this one of Squidward is from Bold and Brash, the Bold and Brash episode. And then this one right here is of SpongeBob at the Krusty Krabs, it looks like, but I could be wrong. Maybe this is from a seed. I'm just not 100% sure. And this is not an original background, so therefore the background just could be off as well. But this is one you don't see here in the collection quite often. And then we've got one more here that was actually given to me as a gift from our previous cameraman. You guys may know him, the legend Parker, and he knows how much I love Plankton, so he got me this one right here, which is Plankton outside of the chum bucket. This is the original cell here. I mean, he is a small cell, a single cell if you will, but man is he cute, and the chum bucket behind him looks so epic. I love this piece so freaking much. And again, that's one that you just don't really see in the background here very often. And this one in particular, I actually got this one from somebody who got this out of a storage locker. You can see it's got a lot of scrapes and the condition on it isn't amazing, but I got this one as well as the Flying Dutchman one for like $50 years and years ago, back when cells were more reasonable. So I always cherish these ones. It's unfortunate there's not enough room on the walls for them right now at this point in my life, but as I grow older and the collection hopefully expands, who knows, you may see them a little bit more often. Item number 5, let's do it. Okay, so if you guys are on Patreon, I'm also going to be adding a bonus item, so I'm not going to show what it is, but there's going to be a little bonus item, an item number 11 if you will, for the members of Patreon. So if you guys aren't already, you can sign up for Patreon for only $2 a month. You get extended versions of these videos 100% ad-free, and it really helps immensely with making this show possible and keeping me making the show. Big shout out to our Patreons already. But item number 5 we have is right here. I'm gonna show you just the back side of it, and it is another SpongeBob comic book in CGC 9.8 condition. You guys know in the background, one of the books I'm the most proud of is this SpongeBob #1 in 9.8 condition, signed by Con Street. And we recently got this one right here, SpongeBob comic number 81, thanks to Adam Moskal here this year. Big shout out to Adam. I'm gonna try to collect as many of these books as I possibly can in that 9.8 condition. And who knows, maybe when I'm like 80 years old, somehow we could have a complete set. Probably not, but I at least want to be able to have the entire SpongeBob comic book set in raw condition. That's one of my biggest like collecting dreams, if you will. But I figured if we're gonna start counting these up, we got number 1, why not go with the next best thing, which is comic number 2. So this is the SpongeBob comic book issue number 2. Absolutely devious. I love the cover of this. It's SpongeBob kind of meets Ratfink. It reminds me so much of him in the Creature from the Krusty Krab video game. We'll play a clip of it real quick here. It's pretty much straight out of that, and that's what I love so much about the comics is they're almost like these trading cards, these jumbo-sized trading cards. Like the illustrations on them are just beautiful. On the back and front, comic artists always have blown my mind, so seeing them have a take on SpongeBob is just surreal. So I had to get issue number 2. So right now we have another one too, but this is, I think this is a special edition book called the Swimtacular number 1. So there's one here too, but that's not technically a part of the mainline comics from what I know. It's kind of just a bonus book. So far we've got 3 out of the set in 9.8 condition. We're just gonna keep it growing, and look at Mrs. Puff in the back. Oh my gosh, I love this so much. Okay, so there we have it. Item number 5. Let's go ahead. I'm gonna do my bonus item here for Patreon, but let's go ahead and check out item number 6. Okay, and our next item is this right here, the Battle for Bikini Bottom Fun Edition statues. So I wanted to put this on here because it's in the back of the room. You don't see it as often, and I just want to give them more of a spotlight than they really get. I think these are some of the best SpongeBob collectibles that we've ever gotten. We did get this statue for Cosmic Shake as well that I think is beautiful, but this is one that features all 3 characters in the premiere edition of the Battle for Bikini Bottom Rehydrated game. It did cost $300 for that premiere edition, but right now you could still get these statues individually for around $40 each, which is much cheaper than, like, for example, Patrick's Funko Pop form, and it is beautiful. You've got the underwear around the watermelon there that you use as the life currency in the game. You've got his socks here, which you're trying to collect throughout the game. And overall, my love for Battle for Bikini Bottom is so strong because from 2003 to 2005 when the SpongeBob movie came out, those were kind of my peak SpongeBob fandom years. And I don't think without Battle for Bikini Bottom, my love would have been as solidified as it was with that cherry on top that was the SpongeBob movie. So seeing them all kind of representing the game with the robots, the interactive pieces, Sandy with her iconic lasso that was just OP in the game, brings back so many memories. And I just wanted to spotlight it here and give it a little bit of love. And it also being something you may have not seen, and also being something you haven't seen, because I also have a sealed box of this in the vault, saran wrap and protected, because I loved it so much that after the game came out, it went on sale for like half the price, so I bought another one sealed just to keep in the collection. Okay, so our next item is a lesser known SpongeBob movie product that I've not featured here on this show, and that is the SpongeBob movie Racing Speedway. It is a full-on racetrack that features SpongeBob and Patrick in the paddy wagon, which I think is the only mold of the paddy wagon that comes with both SpongeBob and Patrick, and I think the only figure in general of Dennis from the movie. This may, I could be wrong, like Mindy's got some plushies. King Neptune, I might not have anything besides this little cardboard figure in here. But for Dennis, this is the only figure that I can think of him actually being brought to a product. So it features a lot of really cool pieces. And I also did a full coverage unboxing this, setting it up, and racing it over on my other channel, on the Comfort Cartoons Vault channel. That video should be up in a couple of weeks here. The videos on that channel do take me some time to get out. I don't upload over there like every week, or no schedule at all, but every now and then I upload a video featuring and kind of showcasing an item that I love. So that video will be coming inevitably. Go check that out down below. You can subscribe to that channel so that way you guys don't miss any videos that I do post over there. I'd love to have you over there because when this video drops, it's gonna be an awesome one. I'm already editing it, and I think I did a pretty good job matching the setup they have here in the picture. It was a blast. So again, all that information is down below in the description, or at the end of the video you'll see a little pop-up for the channel as well. And I'm saving our last one of the best surprise items for the end here, but let's go ahead and check out item number 8. Okay, so item number 8, this is an item I wanted to bring up to hopefully enlist a rep pack as help in finding an item as well. You wouldn't believe how many items we've been able to discover as a community here by me making these videos and kind of putting the energy out there. There's so many different people that watch these videos that they could end up stumbling upon one of the items I'm looking for. But an item that you may not see very often here is this right here. This is the sponge launcher. This is a product where you essentially soak SpongeBob with water. You plug him into these square pants here, and then you get your local 4-year, 5-year-old to jump on it and launch him into the stratosphere. It's based off of the episodic series where you see SpongeBob flying in the Jellyfish Hunters episode where he's like literally launching himself through the air. We'll play the clip right here. It's not perfectly like encapsulative of that episode, but you guys know any of the figures that have this right here, these episodic logos themed after a particular episode, are some of the rarest and most sought after SpongeBob collectibles / toys. And I've got the entire set almost, besides 3 figures. One, which is of SpongeBob working at the Krusty Krab, which is like unfindable. The SpongeBob showering, which is findable. Eventually I will probably get that one. That one's a little bit easier to find. And then the other unfindable one is this one right here. But there is also a Patrick variation of this. For those of you guys who don't know, we have an amazing member of the Rep Pack named Don the Whale. Many of the items that you see in this series have actually come from Don the Whale. He's an amazing member of the Rep Pack, super generous, and one of the biggest collectors that I know. And he's on the lookout for the SpongeBob one, and I told him that they have a Patrick one. And he said he's never seen this one, nor has he seen the Patrick one, even a picture of the Patrick one. So after we had that conversation, I went on a search to find a picture of it, because I know I had seen it at one point in my life. And I found the only existing image of the Patrick one on the internet, because after he had told me he had never seen it, I was questioning if it even existed. Maybe it was just like a weird dream that I had. And considering it's called the Sponge Launcher, I was like, oh, maybe it is just SpongeBob. But here it is on screen, the Patrick Launcher. That one is probably, it's hard to find this one, but the Patrick one, maybe, I mean, we might get actual good quality images of Bigfoot before we find that Patrick one. So I'm enlisting the Rep Pack. If you guys out there have one, reach out to me. If you see one, reach out to me. If you have any information on where I could get one, reach out to me, because I would love to be able to get that Patrick one in the collection, as well as the fry cooking SpongeBob. That one is really, really tough to find too. The shower one I should be able to manage, but those two are like absolutely untouchable, it feels like. So I wanted to feature that item if you haven't seen it before, give you some more information on it you may have never heard before, and also enlist your help. So let's go ahead and go on to item number 9, which is one of my favorites in this entire video. Okay, so many of you guys know in the year 2020, I want to say, yeah, that was a pretty memorable year, they released the Sponge on the Run film. And with that movie, we did also get some amazing flashback kind of products, like new SpongeBob Pop-Tarts, a new SpongeBob cereal, and of course we have those in the collection. But at a Snack Foods Expo revealing Kellogg's new 2020 cereal, they had some banners, 2 banners in particular, displayed to get your attention to come check out and taste test the 2020 SpongeBob cereal. And I have both of those banners. I only have one here for you guys, but I have both of the banners, possibly the biggest piece of display material for SpongeBob's Kellogg's products ever. And I'm gonna be sharing that with you guys. I've been sitting on this item for like 6 months now, waiting for this series to have an opening to be able to show you this. So let's go ahead and pop it open. I'm gonna need to use some room here, so we'll have to move the camera a little bit so we can get this thing out, because I believe it's almost 7 feet long. Oh my goodness. I don't even know. It might not even fit in the cavern here. Okay, well, it might fit in the cavern, but maybe not on the ground here to where we can actually see it. Okay, I got it. There we go. So, there it is. Kellogg's. Get a taste of nautical nonsense. A throwback phrase to the first ever SpongeBob DVD released. And you've got SpongeBob, Patrick, and Gary all here inside of a porthole window, like a gold porthole window, in that SpongeBob the movie, Sponge on the Run CGI art style. But my goodness, is this a beautiful piece. And like I said, we have the only 2 that they actually made. They made these specifically for that expo, and we have both of them here in the collection. I only really need the one, but I got the other one because it was such a good price, and I figured if I ever need to trade somebody for something we need in the collection, I have one of those in the vault. But there we go. Absolutely incredible. An item you've never seen before, over 7 feet long, This is item number 9. Okay, and item number 10, an item that is in the back of the room away from the shot. That is the Kyrie Irving SpongeBob shoes that were released by Nike. I have the entire set back here. Again, you don't see them quite often. We have every single pair inside of a little plastic shoe protector. We've got both pairs inside of there. They have been holding up great inside of these protectors. On that note, you guys let me know what was your favorite item that you saw in today's video. Again, if you guys want to support the Patreon and keeping this show going, that link is down below. If you guys want to visit me on Whatnot, I'm live every single Friday. I'd love to hang out with you as well as other members of the Rep Pack. When you sign up, you get $15 for free. We sell all types of nostalgic stuff over there on Whatnot, but not just that. The whole site is amazing. There's so many items you can pick up over there, whether you collect SpongeBob or just about anything else. They've got it over there. So that link's down below. I'll see you guys in this video right here that I know you're gonna love. And as always, Rep Pack, I'll see you guys in the next one. Adios and bloop!